Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be reviewing Kamp Koral, SpongeBob's Underyears, which is the first ever SpongeBob spin-off, and I got my SpongeBob shirt on, so I'm all ready to talk SpongeBob. This show has had a bit of controversy to the lead up in the fact that I got announced 2 months after the creator Steven Hillenburg passed away, and to the fact that there's an old blog post where Steven said he doesn't want any SpongeBob spin-offs, and to the fact that people don't know if Steven knew about the show or not. To me, this stuff doesn't really bother me because I understand that once you sell a show to a company, they own it and they can do whatever they want to it. So if they want to make spin-offs or movies and all that kind of stuff and the creator doesn't want that, he doesn't really have any say to that because he no longer owns the idea. Besides this unnecessary controversy, how is this show itself? It's decent. The animation's good though. It's got some great movement and it's super energetic. And they do that squash and stretch style sometimes. And that's something you don't really see a lot in CGI cartoons. This show, Kamp Koral, is done with CGI, which is computer generated imagery. Though they're doing that CGI style, like a 3D style, where it kind of looks like 2D with imitating 2D. The original SpongeBob show was hand-drawn to 2D, and to me personally, I don't really care which medium you use to make a show, if it's 2D or 3D, it doesn't matter to me as long as the show looks good and is good overall. So I like the animation with the show. It looks great, it's super energetic and all that kind of stuff. There's only one thing I noticed with the animation which I don't like, and for some reason it has to do with the backgrounds, but it only has to do with outdoor backgrounds. Like when they're in an indoor environment, the backgrounds look fine. When they're in an outdoor environment, for some reason the backgrounds don't look that good. And since this show takes place in a camping setting, most of the episodes take place in like an outdoor environment, but the backgrounds in outdoor environment for some reason don't really look that good. They kind of look unfinished for some reason. I'm not too sure if they rushed the show out or not, but just by me watching the show, I've just noticed that the outdoor environments don't look that good. Compared to when they're in the cabin, the backgrounds in there look much better than the outdoor backgrounds. Regards to the humor, this show isn't really that funny. It does have its funny moments per se, but it's not really like hilarious. Like none of the jokes really made me laugh out loud, and none of the jokes, like the verbal jokes when the characters are talking, didn't really make me laugh. It's more of the quick-paced animation that made me laugh out, like all the physical humor. Because physical humor has always been my personal favorite. Like I find it hilarious when it's done well, obviously. Like I'm a fan of physical humor. So I don't really find the show like super funny. It's more just like quick giggles now and then while I was watching. But it does have its funny moments. There are enough funny jokes in between to keep you entertained. Most of the characters in the show are basically just their ordinary selves, like they were in the original SpongeBob show, except they're aged down obviously because this is a prequel. There are some new characters in the show, like this character named Noreen Norwell, who's pretty funny. But for some reason Sandy's a camper in this show, which is just weird to me because the third ever episode of SpongeBob shows SpongeBob and her meeting for the first time. So seeing her in this prequel show is just weird. And just seeing her overall is just weird since we've already seen their first meeting. But what's even weirder is this show actually addresses the scene where SpongeBob and Sandy meet for the first time when they're older. So them addressing that is even weirder. Like this show is just weird. Like to me, they shouldn't have addressed it because that just makes it even weirder. Like them just ignoring it is much better in my opinion, even though ignoring it is still weird. I guess they can't win besides just not having Sandy in the show at all. But you know they want to have like the more recognizable characters, which I understand. There is 2 characters in this show. They changed up a bit, which I liked. One was Mr. Krabs. And in the original show, I didn't really hate Mr. Krabs. He wasn't really like my favorite character. It's basically just like a character that helped further the plot, which is characters you do need in shows. But in the show, he's much more, and he has much more of a personality. Like he's the camp counselor, and you see him raising baby Pearl, which I like. And another character is Larry the Lobster. He's a character that you don't really see much in SpongeBob. especially in the newer episodes. You did see him more in the original series, and I mean in the original seasons, like the season 1 to 3. And he in the original show was just like a lifeguard, like buff kind of character. But in this show they make him like the sports coach, which is really funny. Though he doesn't really do much sports, he more just like lifts weights, like, huh, I'm lifting weights to get buff. He's one of those characters. I've always liked him as a character, so it's cool to see more of him just being himself and being a buff kind of character. Yeah, guys, this is my thoughts on Kamp Koral. If you've seen Kamp Koral, leave your thoughts in the comments. That's all I gotta say. So please like, share, comment and subscribe. So what do I rate this show from 1 to 10? I'm in the middle between a 6 and a 7. I think I'll go for a 6. Because to me, a 7 is a show that you liked and you want to rewatch. But to me, I don't really need to rewatch this show. I'm not saying I regret watching it. I'm glad I watched it. It was entertaining. But it's not something that I need to revisit. So that's why I'm giving it a 6. Because like I said in the beginning, this show is just decent. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just a decent show. If you're a fan of SpongeBob, I think you'll get some enjoyment out of the show. But if you're not a fan of SpongeBob, like you didn't even like the original, I don't think you'll like the spin-off. So that's all I got to say. Peace out.